Hey there guys, and welcome back. On this week's show, we're talking Christmas traditions. Well, I want to start off today's show by wishing each and every one of you a very Merry Christmas. Here it is, Christmas Day of 2020, unless of course you're watching this on Facebook or one of the woodworking forums that the channel is also posted on, in which case you're probably seeing it Boxing Day, and I hope your day yesterday and today was absolutely spectacular. So I considered what to do for today's show, and it was just going to be a Christmas wish to say all the best to you all. And then I thought, I wondered about Christmas traditions and how we all perceive the day of Christmas and what we do for it. I know that everybody does their own certain things, and whether or not you consider them to be traditions, if it's something that you do every year, whether you like it or not, it's a tradition. It's a tradition with your family. Now for us, we have several things that we do that might seem a little weird to some, but it is the way we do it, and it's the way we have for years. And one of those things is my outdoor Christmas lights. I put them up right after Halloween, and I mean the next day. And I do that not because I'm some kind of Christmas fanatic or Christmas nut. I put them up because I don't want to be up there on a ladder putting up Christmas lights in the cold weather. So I take advantage at the end of October that we still have a little bit of mild weather, and I get out there and I take care of it and I put them up. Now I don't light them up until a certain date. And what date might that be? Well, for me, it is for when the local Santa Claus parade runs through town. Now this year, of course, with 2020 and the pandemic, etc., our Santa Claus parade was canceled. They actually televised it, but they did it a little differently. But the usual tradition of the Santa Claus parade was in fact canceled in the traditional way that they do it. So the lights were still turned on that day. And my wife and I have a theory on that, and that is once the Santa Claus parade comes to town, that also means that Santa is in town. And if Santa is in town, that means that your Christmas lights can go on. I know that there are those that like to put them on a little later, but here in Canada, November 11th is Remembrance Day, where we remember our fallen heroes over the years through the various wars of the world and that sort of thing. And I don't think they should be turned on prior to that day. It might be called Memorial Day in the States, I'm not 100% sure, or Veterans Day. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'd like to hear about it down below, but for us it's Remembrance Day, and that's November the 11th. So the Christmas lights don't get turned on till at least after that. And I think it works out to be somewhere around the 15th or the 18th of of November is where they actually get turned on. And then of course we have them on a timer and they turn on every night after that. Once Santa's in town, of course, we can do the rest of the decorating, and for me that entails a couple wreaths on the front of the house, as well as I do have some front displays that I sometimes put out. I didn't really put out much this year, but either way, the Christmas lights get put out rather early, and some people find it a little strange, but you know what, I'm the one that has the last laugh when they're out there in December freezing, putting up their lights, and mine are already done. So the other thing that I love to do at Christmas, and some people find it odd that I'm the one that does it, I don't know why, but last year on the show I shared it with you. I'll put a link below to it, and what it is I love to make fruitcake. And some people like it, some people don't like it. It's either you dig it or you don't. If you don't like fruitcake, then of course you're not going to make it, you're not going to eat it. But for me, I love homemade fruitcake at Christmas. And I always make my own. Now it's very time consuming, extremely time consuming, but it's one of the things that I love to do. And I don't think it's so much as making the cake as much as it is eating it that I like. But that is another tradition that we hold here in my household, and that is the annual making of the fruitcake. Now, how about decorating the tree? Well, for us, there are some people that have their traditions with their tree, and they have certain ornaments that they put up, and they have, you know, a themed tree, or they have it so that it has sporadic ornaments. They're very neatly organized. Not us. It is a free-for-all. We get together, myself and my children, and this year my granddaughter as well, and my children's significant others as well, and we just go to town. It is a complete decoration fest. Get out of the way if you don't want to get hurt, because everybody is taking ornaments from different boxes here, different boxes there. There's a lot of excitement, there's a lot of chatter, there's a lot of craziness going on, and it comes to a point at the end of it where you still have ornaments to put up, but we're searching for places to put them because there are so many on the tree. You could spend hours, literally hours, looking through the tree and see different ornaments each time, because there are so many that are there. For me, everyone knows that I have a theme of my own ornaments, and I am a huge Muppets fan. I always have been. Call it what you want. I absolutely love the Muppets. It's just great, clean fun, and a lot of my ornaments involve the Muppets. Go figure. So you'll see a lot of that on my tree, and it's easy to tell whose they are. They're mine. So the other thing that I have tradition-wise are these. And what this is way back when I was just a little boy. I don't remember them too much from when I was a child, but my mom and dad had a set of lights, and they had these Santa heads on each one of the lights, and they would get wrapped around the tree, and we just loved them. And over the years, of course, they didn't really survive, but I got some and my brother got some of the heads. I have 3, and what I do every year, I try to get a certain spot and put them over top of a light to illuminate their face. I just love these things. And the one other thing too that is a huge tradition for us is called the ugly bird, or the tacky bird. And what that is as a joke, many years ago, my dad gave each member of the family, so they had one, my brother's family had one, and I and my wife had one, and they were this styrofoam ball that had feathers on it, and they were some were bright pink, some were purple, mine's purple, and they were quite possibly the most hideous things in the world. And but every year that tacky bird has to go on top of the tree, and I love it, and it wouldn't be the tree without it. And this year was no exception. He does need some repairs. I'm going to have to bite the bullet and try to fix him up a bit to make sure that he continues for years to come in the family. The one other thing that for us is a tradition that's a little odd is Christmas Day. We do not have the traditional big meal. We don't have the turkey. We don't have the stuffing and the cranberry sauce and the potatoes and the vegetables and the homemade breads and all of that. We don't have any of that on Christmas Day. We used to, always used to. And then back in 2013, we had a massive 5-day power outage here in the city. And right through Christmas, we had no power. And during that time, we couldn't cook anything like a big Christmas dinner. And what we had was I made homemade pizzas and I cooked them on the barbecue. And for breakfast that day, I did breakfast on the barbecue for everybody. And my mom and dad were here from the east coast of Canada, and it was just a great time. We had a lot of fun. And we realized at that time that making that big meal during the day really was tedious and really got in the way of having fun with the rest of the day and spending time with the family. it was just such a rush, and we enjoyed the day so much more without it, that we decided from now on we wouldn't do this big meal any longer, and we would do it on New Year's Day. So I actually made a little movie promo about that day to commemorate the ice storm of 2013. Let's just have a look at that. I thought I'd share it with you guys because it's a load of fun. So let's just have a look at that 2013 Christmas video. You can see we had a load of fun that year, even without power. We were one of the only families still left on the street. I would actually, I wired up my furnace to an inverter and was able to power up the igniter and the circuit boards so that we could have heat. And I would fire up the heat and, you know, get the house nice and toasty and then let it cool down. And when it got to the point that people were complaining about it, I would fire up the inverter again and get the furnace going and that sort of thing. But we were able to make it work. So it was also one of the last Christmases I spent with my dad. So there's a lot of memories there. A lot of fun was had. And that spawned the New Year's Day Christmas meal. And that is when we shifted it. We shifted it in 2013. And every year since then, it has been our tradition that our large family Christmas dinner is New Year's Day. Now, that works out really well because with my children having significant others, they have families too that they would like to spend Christmas time with. So if they miss our Christmas dinner on Christmas Day, you know what? It's not on Christmas Day. Everybody can show up New Year's. And it's a load of fun. So there you go. There's a few small traditions that I like to have for our family at this time of year. Makes it that much more special. I'd like to hear about your traditions, guys. Let's hear what you like to do. Something small that, you know, even though it's not that big of a deal, you still enjoy it every year and every year you look forward to it. What do you like? Guys, I want to thank you for tuning into the show today. And honestly, it has been a wonderful year here on the show. We've had a lot of fun. A lot of epic projects have been coming out. And it's no fun doing it by myself. It's more fun when I have someone to share it with, and that would be you guys. So I appreciate you really, I really do, showing up every week here, making your comments, asking your questions. It's a load of fun for me, but it would be nothing without you. I want to wish every single one of you and your families, all of your loved ones, the happiest of Christmases. I hope Santa's good to you. I hope you get lots of woodworking goodies under the tree. Honestly, guys, Merry, Merry Christmas to all of you and all the best for the holiday season. Thank you so much again for indulging me today. Thank you for tuning into the show. A Merry Christmas, and I hope you're going to join me again next week when I bring you yet another woodworking video.